Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the red corner. He's wearing red with blue and weighed in at 10 stone. Coming to us from Wolverhampton, he brings a professional record consisting of 3 wins, 2 defeats, with 1 draw. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Clayton Karma Bricknell. And his opponent across the ring, fighting tonight out of the blue corner. He's wearing black with silver and weighed in at 10 stone, 2 pounds. Hailing from Northampton, Northamptonshire, he is undefeated with 4 wins. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Eithan Jammy James.
Okay, let's obey my commands. In the event of a knockdown, the fighter standing will go to the furthest neutral corner and stay there. Protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves. 6 rounds. Let's have a good one, please.
So Eithan James in his 5th professional outing against Clayton Bricknell, a late substitute. Man from the West Midlands. And a game sort comes into it on the back of a victory. Eithan James, fledgling professional, just 20 years old. This is his 5th fight, his first time in a 6-rounder.
Just stepping up now for the 6 rounds. James, tall, rangy. He's boxed well in his career up to now. He works well behind his jab. And again, height and reach over Bricknell.
Can switch hit, James. And there was a decent junior amateur, won European Junior Silver back in 2016 and a Commonwealth Youth Silver medal on the back of that. Turned pro at 19. And by our reckoning, in those 4 fights he's had so far, all of them on points, and he's won every round.
Yeah, he has decent skills. Just got caught there with that little right hand. Bricknell just threw that little right hand over the top, so as they're breaking away, just catches James. So he's just got to watch as he's breaking away from the exchanges. Keep those hands nice and high. Yeah, but when he works behind jabs like that and straight right hands, then yeah, he's got some decent skill.
Good hand speed as well. The difference between, I guess, what we saw in the opening bout, which was kind of a lazy jab, there's much more of a snap about it from Eithan James.
Yeah, he just got caught with another right hand there, James. He switched, hasn't he, to southpaw. So just got to watch that his feet don't come too square. But yeah, he has got talent. He can box orthodox, he can switch to southpaw, which you know, creates problems for the opponent.
Bricknell from the Errol Johnson stable. Errol has any number of tough lads who he works with.
Yeah, he's got a great stable of boxers now, Errol. Been in the game a long time, though, very experienced manager and trainer.
What a good performance last night from Zach Parker. Just to underline what you're saying. Switch hitting, as you can see, James. When he beat Chris Pilkington last time out in September, he boxed almost exclusively southpaw on that occasion.
Yeah, he's got a bit of talent. He can switch. Here, Bricknell, occasionally he's coming forward like that, but he's staying on the back foot as well. And I think just when James, he's got to hit the target as he's coming forward. Otherwise, then he might be open to that right hand over the top. So he's got to watch that.
We'll get Rich's assessment of that opening round in a moment.
Bricknell made things a little bit difficult at times, but he won the round.
6-rounder. Here we go for the second. Clayton Bricknell's one moment of success was where he clipped James with a right hand in that opening round.
Yeah, and he'll have more chance of landing that shot if you can just slip the jab of James and then whip the right hand over. I think if he comes forward, Bricknell, and falls short himself, that makes it easier for James.
Nice
He started this round well, James.
Nice left hand in there from James. Got a little buzz of appreciation. You might have heard the voice of James Conway in his corner saying shots as he landed it. There's a little bit of success again, though, for Bricknell.
Yeah, look, just caught him there with that lead left hook. Quickened the feet up, you see, and got into range.
Quite a noticeable reach advantage that James has.
Oh, nice punch pick in there with that left hand as a southpaw then, James. That was good, accurate.
Down.
James having things pretty much his own way in this second round. Bricknell could do with something just to command the respect of James, who's starting to produce some flashy moves.
Yeah, he's just gone through the gears in this round. He just upped the tempo, hasn't he, James? Bricknell hasn't been able to cope with it, really. So not bad at all now from James. He's enjoying it, he's confident, he's switching from orthodox to southpaw.
Having things pretty much his own way in this second round. You can see he's still looking for that right hand, Bricknell, but he's not been able to land anything of note in this second period so far.
If he's going to land that shot, he's got to try and catch James as he's coming forward. And again, slip the head to the side and whip that right hand over. But it's been a fairly dominant second round for James. The first round was closer, but this round he's clearly won it.
Seconds out. Round 3.
Bricknell trying to double up the jab.
Yeah, trying to be awkward, isn't he, Bricknell? Boxing occasionally from a crouch position. But again, accurate work there from James. Good shots went in. Just finding the distance and range well with that lead hand, which is setting up the backhand also. So yeah, good work again from James.
Being put into reverse gear, Bricknell was able to fire off that overhand right a couple of times in the opening round, and he's feinting to do it. There it is, that's the one he's looking for, but it's short of the target that time. James only 20, physically probably still growing, gaining more power. I suppose if you were going to be fiercely critical, Richie, you'd be looking maybe for a little bit more pop in his punching, a little bit more.
Yeah, well, but that will come with experience. He's 20 years of age. You know, he's a young professional. And the pop in the punches, as you said, that'll come. The good thing about his work is he's skillful and talented. He can switch it.
And decent footwork.
Yeah, you know, he's a decent kid. So the power will come. And you know what John Fury has said in the studio, it's just there's no rush. Young kid. Take your time in this game. Learn with every fight.
Caught with a little right hand there inside as he turned. Bricknell landing on the target, but no great power in it.
That's a decent right hand to the body there from Bricknell. Just occasionally, just quickens the feet up, doesn't he? And has a little bit of success with the left hook. So maybe target that right hand to the body and then switch the attack with the left hook to the head for Bricknell.
Go boxing, step back, box on.
Referee Bob Williams having to split them as we move into the closing seconds of the third round. Bricknell on the front foot as the bell goes. Another round to Eithan James.
Yeah, without a
We're doing.
Round 4.
Well, he just got clipped, didn't he, with the one shot, as we've shown in the replay. So that's what his coach is talking about there, just to keep switched on, really, and just keep concentrating.
Look to bring a few of his punches up.
Yep, he could do with the right uppercut. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Bricknell still there and still providing questions, to which Eithan James needs to find the solution.
Again, James has started this round nice and sharp, hasn't he? That jab especially. Bricknell just needs to move his head a little bit more, John. A bit more head movement. Try and slip them shots. When he does quicken his feet up, yeah, he can be a little bit more threatening, can Bricknell.
Bricknell just covering up, waiting for the opportunity to maybe throw that powerful right hand. There's one to the body.
When James is boxing as a southpaw, that's a nice shot there, that left hand. When he's boxing as a southpaw, it's so much more difficult for Bricknell. That right hand has just got to travel a little bit further to the target, and if he launches it from too far out, he's going to fall short and then walk onto shots. So yeah, as a southpaw, it's a bit more, it's a tougher job for Bricknell.
Is he producing his better work as a southpaw? Maybe it's just that Bricknell's struggling with that particular stance, but he looks sharp.
He's struggling with the stance. But I think he's a very natural switch hitter, isn't he, James?
And he's winning these rounds emphatically now.
What Bricknell's got to try and do is try and bring James, make him come forward as a southpaw, because occasionally then, you know, he's got a better chance of landing that right hand. It'll be James that'll be closing the gap as he's coming forward, and Bricknell may have a chance to land that shot, but James, he's well schooled, isn't he, and he's keeping his distance and boxing to his strength.
And Clayton's having a tendency to telegraph that right hand as well. It's coming from a long way out, that over the top right hand.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad shot there from Bricknell, the right hand.
But James comfortably clocking up the rounds, and that will be another one there. You know that you're going well.
Yes, there is an enjoyment, and it's probably why we all do it. I mean, it's the mentality of a boxer when he's in there and he's winning. Yeah, you do enjoy it, and he doesn't look like he's enjoying it.
No,
he's boxing pretty well, but you know, he's getting caught with the odd shot here and there, but it's nothing really to trouble him. But yeah, there is an element of enjoyment there, John, when you're winning, and you box into instruction and things are going well, most certainly.
Well, he's got to go badly wrong from here on not to be getting another win. Looks as though he's going to notch up another victory. It's looking very much as though it's going to go the distance again.
He's probably a little bit displeased because he's been caught with the odd shot here and there, but I mean, you know, it is only the odd shot. Overall, I think he's boxed pretty well, James.
Bricknell has got 3 wins in his 6 fights. Obviously a big outsider in this one. And as we said earlier, only taking the fight at late notice.
Yeah, and he's done a good job, hasn't he, for a boxer who's took it at short notice. He's made things awkward here and there. Caught James with the odd shot. So yeah, for someone coming in so late, then yeah, he's done all right, Bricknell.
Just joining us, our main event later on. Willie Hutchinson, the talented young Scotsman, fighting for the vacant British and Commonwealth super middleweight title against the tough man from the West Midlands, Lennox Clark. Really intriguing fight, that one. After all the hype, as such as it is, I suppose Willie Hutchinson under a bit of pressure, and I know from people who've been around the Fight Hotel this week, Lennox Clark is sort of got a sense of brooding resentment about Willie Hutchinson. It's a real one, I tell you.
It's a good fight, isn't it, on paper? And they both fancy it. They're both really confident. So yeah, has the makings of a cracker.
It's what you want, and that's the one we're looking forward to. Fight, we reckon, going to be sometime after 10 o'clock on main event tonight. Meanwhile, Eithan James here from Northampton, switching to that southpaw stance again, has boxed his way to another round.
Combinations together.
For the 6th and final round.
Well, let's see if he's able to do that. This is the last round of the fight, and Eithan James will be well ahead on points. We've given him every round so far. Looks as though he might be heading towards another shutout points victory, unless Clayton can find something special in these last 3 minutes. Bricknell ducking low and trying to find that launch, that right hand over the top, but James seeing it coming and coping comfortably now.
Yeah, he fell short, didn't he, with that shot, Bricknell, and just gets away with it, if anything, because James didn't punish him for that mistake. Too far out, launching the attack, falling short. Again, easy stuff for a southpaw.
It's a nice left hand. Bricknell taking it, but it was landed pretty flush. Again, an example of the accuracy and some of the hand speed of James.
Yeah, that's something he's got to watch there. See, when he was a southpaw and then he threw his left hand, you know, the rear hand, and then his back leg came through and he comes square, and then he switched then to orthodox, but he's switching what they call going forward, and that's when your feet come square, and he just ran into a little bit of trouble there on the inside. I mean, he's got through it, but again, just got to watch that.
He ran into an overhand right again as well, and Bricknell looking for more, looking to just find something special in this last minute, trying to turn it around, but that's better from James.
Yeah, he's trying to just end the show now, isn't he? With some power shots going in from James.
Trying to plant his feet and throw his punches with a little bit more devilment, Eithan James.
Yeah, and that'll probably suit Bricknell also. He'll prefer this type of contest because James is there in front of him. More entertaining, isn't it?
Oh, we've got a gum shield that's come out. Slightly worried there that punches are going to continue. The old maxim of defend yourself at all times. And so the action resumes. Around about 30 seconds still remaining. There we go. As the clock comes back in.
Yeah, a bit of a change in tactic from James in this round. Just finishing the contest, standing toe-to-toe. Taking the odd risk here and there. Seeing that brings Bricknell into it a little bit more.
And I remember as well, this is his first time at 6 rounds. A little bit of toe-to-toe action in the closing seconds of the fight. A fight which Eithan James certainly wins, but taking the fight at late notice. Well done, Clayton Bricknell, for staying with him and providing a proper test over 6 rounds.
Good workout for Eithan James there. 6 solid rounds. But Bricknell did his job there, made it awkward right to the very end. A bit of a change in tactics from James in that last round, standing toe-to-toe, making it a little bit more entertaining. And just showing that he can box orthodox, southpaw, and he can also stand and trade with his opponent there to finish the show, you know. Maybe
something in the old psyche saying, let me show people I can fight a bit. I'm not just a fancy Dan.
Yeah, that's it. That's what he's done there. But like I say, first time over 6 rounds. He's not done too bad at all. Won every round. Good experience.
Indeed. And he'll move on now. That'll be a 5th professional victory for Eithan James. Bob Williams just tallying his card. And brought across to Thomas Schreiber, who's going to be able to give us the verdict now. And I reckon he won all 6 rounds. Let's see.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of boxing, our referee in charge, Bob Williams, scores this contest 59-56 for your winner and still undefeated Eithan "Chammy" James.
Oh, Bob Williams begs to differ. He gave a round there to Clayton Bricknell, maybe the last, and a little bit tighter than Richie and I saw it, but in the end, another clear points victory, maintaining his undefeated